Hey there guys, it's your good pal Wiggly, and welcome back to more Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations Blind. In the last episode, Franziska von Karma finally made her great return in the first part of the first trial, where we interrogated Sister Bikini, and in this episode we're heading forward to the second part of the first trial, where it seems like we're going to be interrogating our good man, Larry Butts, and finally, hearing about his incredible thing that he saw, which is probably not actually lightning. I have been informed in between episodes by a friend on Discord that apparently Sister Bikini's testimony is notorious for being a newbie stumper and is apparently considered quite difficult. And I just completely blasted through it in the last episode, which makes me feel kind of cool. And I'm ready to completely fuck it up with Larry here. So let's go ahead and hop right into it, because that's just generally how it works. February 9th, 11:15 a.m., District Court Defendant Lobby, number 1. The important lobby. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth? I'm not really sure what to say.
Iris, we only have 20 minutes. There are 2 things which I need to ask you before we reconvene.
Alright, I'll help you in any way I can.
First, about that night. You really didn't go to the inner temple, correct? The last witness claims to have met and talked with you in the training hall. Either you or Sister Bikini is lying.
Mr. Edgeworth, it is just as I said yesterday. Until the incident occurred, I was in my own room in Hazakura Temple.
Very well. The second thing, then. That night, the temple snowmobile was used in between the time Sister Bikini returned to the main hall and when she bore witness to the murder. Sometime between 10:30 and 11 p.m. that night. Were you the one who used the snowmobile?
There's only one key for the snowmobile. The only person who could have used it was me.
So it was you. But why? What made you go out to the Dusky Bridge?
Okay. That's interesting. I thought Larry used it to get to the Heavenly Hall. Really? You used it? I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. What? Come on, Iris. You literally just said that you were willing to help us in any way that you could. Girl. What are you hiding then?
Iris.
I can't tell you about that yet.
Yet?
Not until her safety is confirmed. Who? Maya? Pearl? Who?
Her?
The safety of the Acolyte. Okay, Maya.
The Acolyte, huh? She must be talking about Maya.
Okay. So, something was planned, then, to endanger Maya specifically? From the wording of that? This was all premeditated.
Iris, look me in the eye and tell me the truth. Did you kill Elise Donim?
No matter who or what may come, I could never take a life.
Okay.
I believe you.
As I thought, no psycho-locks. Very well. It is my job to get to the truth. You'll discover this for yourself soon enough.
Okay. Did you go out there to set it on fire, then? What? Why?
Court will now reconvene. Miss von Karma, where is the witness?
During the break, a man was detained for suspicious behavior in the gallery.
Suspicious behavior?
He was sketching something, very intensely.
Dare I ask what the witness was sketching when he was detained?
He drew a terrifying woman armed with a demonic face and a vicious whip.
I can only presume that his intention was to capture you.
Anyway, it's time to drag this pathetic excuse for an artist before the court. Just because you're good at sculpting doesn't mean that you're good at drawing. They're very different skills. Elise Donim, I hope you're ready. Get in here!
It would seem that whip is going to see plenty more use today.
Definitely. Hey, buddy. Ouch! Your sketch is in contempt of this court. Don't fall in love with her. Please, Larry. Don't go that route. I already see the writers doing something. Don't do it. Hey! I was just artistically rendering. Ouch! You tried to run away from the bailiff who was trying to hand you your subpoena, correct? Look, I'm nothing but a fledgling artist training out in the mountains. I'm only down here in the city because I ran out of green paint. Well, to use the technical term for the color, Viridian.
Larry, this isn't an art store, now is it? Also, Viridian's kinda, sorta, closer to blue than green, I would say, but that's neither here nor there.
I know, I graduated junior high, okay? I like that he has to specify. I don't think he graduated high school.
Look, art is all about working in the fields, isn't it?
Working in the fields?
I presume he wanted to say field work. I hope.
That's it. Thanks, buddy.
It's kinda sad that I was able to understand his mangled train wreck of a sentence.
You do be childhood friends, whether you like it or not. I just happened to stop in here and found a wonderful new model. That's a compliment. So see, I've got nothing to do with this trial, at all. I expect all of your faces to be red when you realize that mistake. Bright red. Or, to use the technical term, Crimson Lake. Shut up. Ouch! Ow! Ow! Ouch! 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 Stop your pathetic blabbing and testify like a man. Why did the judge get whipped?
Refrain from whipping me, Miss Von Karma. Cross-whipping is as bad as cross-checking. Witness, that was all your fault. Testify now.
This is too much for me.
Kangaroo.
I was at that lodge out in the mountains, looking up at the stairs that night. I walked to the bridge a number of times, but I didn't see a snowmobile. Why are you stammering? I didn't see anyone at the bridge that night either. Well, that's a fucking lie. The girl I was waiting for didn't show up. My teacher died on me. I'm all alone now. Aren't I edgy? I'm sorry, Larry, but...
Witness, please refrain from talking directly to the lawyers during your testimony.
I'm just a nobody, nothing but a small, worthless man, aren't I?
You said it.
And why wasn't I asked for my name and occupation or anything else?
Because we already know it. Mr. Edgeworth, this man seems to have quite a severe inferiority complex. He's recently been the cause of numerous incidents. I think he's finally realized for himself just how much of a nuisance he has been to other people.
Okay, but when's the Larry redemption arc? Yeah, that's right. I'm behind everything, every case. Watch out, okay? Just touching me will make you eternally unhappy.
Well then, let us proceed with the cross-examination. With no touching, thank you. We can delve into other details at a later time.
Okay. Well, I know where the fucking lie is. I was at the lodge out in the mountains looking up at the stars that night, walking in bridge a number of times, didn't see a snowmobile, you didn't see anybody at the bridge that night. Yes, you did. You saw Phoenix.
You didn't meet anyone?
That's right, because I've got nothing to do with this. And I'm just here to buy some Viridian paint, okay? Come on, I expected to see those Crimson Lake faces now!
It would appear that simply pressing him isn't going to be enough, Mr. Edgeworth. Indeed. It seems he's going to claim to have nothing to do with this to the end. I don't want this guy to cost us any more time. I need to slice through his obvious contradictions and keep things moving along.
Okay. Well, the quickest contradiction of all time. You saw Phoenix Wright. Wow, that was simple.
Larry Butts. I can understand why you might want to throw your old life away. You're pretty pathetic, and you cause all sorts of trouble.
I'm sorry.
But, having realized just how much of a nuisance you have been, that could be considered a step in the right direction.
Knowing is half the battle. Edgy, are you trying to console me?
It certainly doesn't sound that way to me.
He is in his Edgeworth way.
However, I cannot forgive you for simply turning away from the incidents you create.
You're totally pinning this on me.
Now then, let us talk about the night of the murder. Sister Bikini, after seeing the murder take place, asked Phoenix Wright to report it. Thus, he headed for the public phone by the bridge. There, he happened across a certain nefarious individual. You, Larry Butts.
That's right, me, in the flesh.
Listen carefully, witness. It doesn't matter if you change your name. So long as you remain pretty pathetic, you will continue to cause these incidents.
True. Good advice, Canadian judge.
That reality will not change. But what do you want me to do then? Larry, what you need to change is your inner self. But for now, what you saw that night, testifying truthfully about this one issue, is all I need from you. Can you do that, Larry? Edgy? I think I've finally woken up. Man, I don't want to get into the psychology of having to tell people that you're changing or what you've realized is generally a sign that you're struggling to change. Like, if you feel pressured to tell everybody at all times and update them on progress when they didn't ask, that kind of proves to me that you're just kind of trying to prove it to yourself. So, buddy, I don't know why I got so deep with that, but I did. Well, I guess I could still be sleeping. But anyway, I'll do it. I'll testify. Well, I'm not sure this will go especially well. Oh, okay. I'll ask again then. Witness, what did you see on the night of the murder? What I saw, part 2. What do we got? I went to the shack at around 9, so it would have been around 10:30 p.m. Okay. Yeah, that checks out because the snowmobile, well, if you took it, Did Iris take it or did you? I'm under the assumption it was you. But if Iris did, then when did she leave? Then she's lying about having stayed in her room until the incident. Oh god, I'm confused about that now. I have something mixed up here. But anyway, going off the assumption that you were the one who took the snowmobile, if you left at 10:30, it would have still been snowing, and you would have returned after. And that would check out. Okay, cool. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. Why were you sleeping in there? I looked out the window, and Dusky Bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick. Okay. You certainly saw quite a lot, didn't you? So, what happened to the bridge after it caught on fire? It was like me after a 3-day stint chasing a girl. It totally burnt out, like almost totally gone. I mean, trying to cross the burning remains was what caused Nick to fall. What did you say? Oh, don't worry. It's nothing life-threatening. He just caught a cold. I never know with that man if he should be called lucky or unlucky. That's a great way to put it. Now, Mr. Edgeworth, please commence your cross-examination. Also, I love how worried she is about him. Even though it's obviously just to be like, I can't defeat him if he doesn't, if he doesn't show up. But there's care lying underneath that. I went to the shack at around 9, so it would have been around 10:30 p.m. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. I looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. That's when I ran into Nick. Okay, so you're saying at 10:30, there was lightning and thunder. Okay, let's check the weather data. Okay, lightning struck, okay, we haven't gotten to that part yet. Lightning struck Dusky Bridge at 10:45. Around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting to go in and out. That's a 15-minute discrepancy, but is that a big deal? Huh. It checks out that there was lightning. And thunder's not mentioned. So, Dusky Bridge at 10:45, around 30 minutes passed between the fire starting and going out. Okay. Let me read this one more time. He went to the shack at 9, which means that he didn't take the snowmobile, because I think that means that that's before when Sister Bikini came back and saw the snowmobile? Right? Maybe?
So, regardless, it would have been about 10:30. You're saying at 10:30 there was lightning. And the lightning struck the bridge at 10:45, which is really not, like, a huge deal. But, like, approximately 11. Yeah, I mean, the time could just be wrong here. Around 30 minutes pass between the fires starting and going out seems like the thing that is important, but maybe not even to this. Okay. Yeah, we're not really to the fire yet. I mean, we are, but... Okay, let's just start pressing, I guess. What did you do out there in the cold for an hour and a half? Well, if you really must know, I was busy being excited, I guess. Excited? Dare I even ask? I set the meeting time at 10 p.m., right? But I couldn't wait, and I thought she might come early, too. Okay, you're just gonna blow this out. You're gonna blow this out yourself. Well, it appears she didn't come at all in the end. Because they never arranged to meet in the first place, did they? Shut up! Don't go picking my fond memories apart. Anyway, I was getting a little worried. I thought maybe Iris had lost her way. So every 20 minutes or so, I went out to the bridge, that's important. But I didn't see anything particularly suspicious. I didn't have anything else to do, so I went back to the shack to wait for her. Okay. I was lying under my bedding when a white flash almost blinded me. At 10:30, that checks out. This light was, of course, lightning. Like, kapow! Like a slap from Naomi, honestly. A big bada boom. Ah! Or a little like that. Ah! That's more like a punch from Miranda. Witness, did you actually see the lightning hit the bridge? That was the wrong voice. Well, I was a bit startled by the flash of lights, so... I looked out the window and Dusky Bridge was on fire. You didn't see lightning strike, so it's entirely possible that lightning did not catch the bridge on fire, and somebody else lit it on fire to prevent somebody from getting to the murder weapon, which is stashed across the bridge? That would be weird. Seeing that, what did you do? What do you think? I was burning up as well from the fire in my heart. And that's why you went to take a look at the bridge. Well, to be honest, it was freezing cold, so at first I thought, forget it, I'm not leaving my covers. But it had pretty much stopped snowing, so I changed my mind. I'm not sure I care for the forget it attitude you had at first, Witness. I don't like it either. There was still some thunder, but I went right away to check it out. Okay. There's a lot of time and a lot of weather here. You said right away, but exactly how long after the strike was that? The lightning fell and the bridge caught on fire, maybe around 5 minutes? I mean, I suddenly thought, gotta go check this out. How far is this small shack you were in from the bridge? Hold on. Well, it had pretty much stopped snowing. I guess about a 5-minute walk? And how did Dusky Bridge look when you got there? Like I had recovered a piece of my childhood. I mean, not even the bonfires kids make during school camping trips can compare. Well, should I press him for a little more info? Yeah. I don't like any of these questions, though. Why didn't you call anyone doesn't really make sense. I mean, I guess I could ask that and get some potentially new information, because... I mean, the answer could very well just be, I mean, I was alone. Who would I call? Unless he had his phone, which he might have. Why did he go to the bridge? We already know that. And not right now is a dead end. So I guess why didn't you call anyone is the answer. Larry, let me ask you one thing. What is it, Edgy? What's with the serious face? Why didn't you call anyone? Huh? What do you mean? Normally, when faced with a towering inferno, one would try to tell someone. There's a public phone right by Dusky Bridge, correct? That's true, there is a phone right there, I'm dumb. Well, of course I thought of doing that.
So then, let's hear why you didn't.
Huh? Yeah, okay. A reason. My reason. It isn't that I didn't try to tell anyone, I just didn't have time to, okay? Because you saw something incredible, yeah? I arrived at the bridge and Nick showed up less than a minute later. Okay. I arrived at the bridge and Nick showed up less than a minute later. Okay, oh wait. I forgot that wasn't there the first time. So that's your new piece to this, and that's why you couldn't look at the bridge. Or why you couldn't call anybody. Well, I don't really know how to refute this.
You claim to have arrived at the bridge at the same time as Wright.
Yeah, I thought I better tell someone about this. But then Nick came up yelling about murder. It totally made me forget about the bridge. The fire was pretty much out by then anyway.
What's this feeling? I suddenly have a terrible case of unease.
Okay, well, so the fire was basically out by that time anyway is the thing that I think I need to deal with. It was after contacting the police that Phoenix Wright fell from the bridge, correct? Yeah, that's pretty much it, more or less.
He told me about the burning bridge yesterday, but there's still something that doesn't quite fit. It looks like, despite his change of heart, Larry still isn't telling us the whole truth.
Yep. Of course. Okay. So, oh, damn it. Okay. Nick showed up less than a minute later. I'm not really super sure of the math, and I'm being kind of lazy about double-checking all the math here, but the fire was going on for half an hour. I don't think this checks out, considering you said you left like 5 minutes after. You walked there. There's still a 20-minute discrepancy there, right? Yeah, okay, cool. Nice.
Your very existence being a contradiction.
Oh, okay, this... I don't know why I thought that was a period and not a comma. I'm batting 1,000 today.
Your very existence being a contradiction. I'm not sure if you can grasp this or not.
What the hey, Edgy? You make me sound like some sort of alien. You may as well be.
But your testimony is conclusively contradictory. The problem here is time.
I've never been the best timekeeper, you know. I mean, you make clocks. 3 minutes after Billy leaves on foot, you follow him on your bicycle. How long does it take for you to catch up with him? Terrible at those. That's an incomplete math problem.
This is much more simple. You saw the lightning strike Dusky Bridge, and immediately went to see what had happened. Is this correct?
Yeah, well, I wasted about 5 minutes first, but more or less.
I have the weather data from the night of the murder here. According to this, the lightning fell at 10:45.
I don't know how they know that, but I'm also not really familiar with weather science, so...
You say it takes less than 5 minutes from the shack to Dusky Bridge, meaning you probably got there around 11 p.m.
That all sounds about right, I guess. And then Nick showed up and did his falling act.
That is impossible.
What do you mean?
11 p.m. is when the murder occurred in Hazakura Temple.
True, yep.
Thus, Wright was still there in the courtyard. There is no way that Larry could have encountered him at Dusky Bridge at that time.
Excuse me, I have an objection.
You do?
Edgy, how many times do I have to say this? I'm not Larry, I'm Larice O'Neill. It has not been proven that the murder occurred at 11 p.m. The sister only said around 11, in which case it could have been earlier than that. Okay, but then that would mean that Phoenix took the snowmobile, right?
Watch your footing there, Miss Francisca von Karma. The slope ahead is slippery. For there's still no way that Wright could have been at Dusky Bridge at 11 p.m.
And why not?
It is clearly written here in the weather data report. It took around 30 minutes for the bridge to burn out. Therefore, the bridge must have been burning until at least 11:15. Which means what exactly? Wright did not see the bridge while it was being consumed by the flames that night.
Didn't he? I swore he did. Am I wrong? I thought he did. Was he only there after close to the end of it then?
In fact, he did not arrive on the scene until after the flames had died down.
Okay. That makes more sense. I guess that's true.
Larry, you arrived at the bridge at 11 p.m., but Wright did not make it there until at least 11:15. I suggest you stop hiding things and just tell us the whole truth. Now then, what happened during these missing 15 minutes?
I feel like I just got brutally woken up by toilet backs / splashback. Why are you sleeping on the toilet, Larry? That's awful for your legs. I guess I was still sleeping after all. Pinch me. Oh, man. Order. Ooga! So there was a missing 15 minutes prior to meeting Phoenix Wright. I hardly see that as much of a problem. Yeah, not much of a problem at all.
Really? The bridge is burning before your eyes, and there is a phone right next to it. Why, then, did you not report the accident? Yes, witness, why didn't you? Were you there simply to watch the bridge burn? And therein lies the problem. For even after the bridge had burnt out, he was still there. Staring into space, this witness didn't even attempt to fulfill his civic duty.
That's what it sounds like.
Francisca's disgusted. But this is Larry we are talking about, and even he is incapable of being so stupid. Which means there has to be a reason for his inaction.
That's shaky, but alright. Edgy. I think it's about time I got serious with you, dude.
Just as I thought. You've been playing with us all this time.
Listen, I'm going to tell you everything. Are you sure you want to hear it all?
Yes.
I may really say it this time. Everything. Then say it.
Very well. I have a terribly bad feeling about this, however. Let's have the witness finally give us the whole truth. Now, for this 15-minute gap, what were you doing, witness?
All right. What's going on, Larry? I'm a Zonim. I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipped up into a frenzy of art. Did you arrive at the fucking bridge and was like, oh, this is sick. Gotta draw this. Come on, please. The shock and awe that I was feeling, I transferred it all directly onto the page. Before I realized it, the flames had gone out, and then he came running up.
I suppose artists can be strange folk.
That's right. I'm willing to sacrifice everything in order to draw the perfect sketch.
Including the truth from the sound of it. Mr. Edgeworth, has this removed the last of your doubts?
No. If the something incredible was the bridge, then he would have told us, and he wouldn't have 5 fucking psycho locks there. So,
not at all, Your Honor. One very large doubt still remains. And what would that be? This is a surprisingly believable story, especially considering the source. So why did he think he needed to hide it from us until now?
That's also a good point.
I intend to drag the reason out of him.
You'll regret this, Edgy. What is your deal? Alright, I'm a Donim, I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing?
Tell us, Larry.
My name is Larice, get it right. Mistakes like that are what keep you from being popular with the ladies like I am. We're getting so much conflicting information. That's a contradiction right there.
Just who exactly are you?
I'm Larice Donim, apprentice extraordinaire.
That's what he calls himself, in any case. Then you are an artist.
Of course, I'm an artist, the real thing.
Yet again, that's what he calls himself.
Names mean nothing. There's only one issue I care to discuss. What were you doing? I love names mean nothing. That is a good line from Francisca. Think about that.
That's a very big issue indeed.
Sketching in front of the bridge, I was whipped up into a frenzy of art. Why?
Sketching? The burning bridge?
The burning bridge and everything that came with it. That's a very specific way to put that.
What came with it?
You want to hear this from my lips, do you, Edgy? You'll regret this. That sketch of mine is... enough. Just take that ridiculous sketch of yours out already, witness. Yeah, let's see the sketch. What are you talking about? I don't know what you mean.
That does indeed appear to be the fastest solution. I'll leave it to you, Mr. Edgeworth. What should I do? I've got a terrible feeling that the instant this sketch is revealed, the entire world may be changed by what is depicted there.
Sounds like the way the plot has to go. Let's take a look.
Larry, I wonder if you could show us your sketch, please.
Well, even I couldn't have imagined it'd turn out like this.
Imagine what?
That Larice O'Neem's debut would take place here, today, like this. Ouch! Show it, now! Okay, but steel yourselves. This is the world of Larice O'Neem. Okay. Wait a minute, I just realized what that is. What? Oh no! It's Maximilian Galactica flying over the bridge. What the hell is that? A flame girl flying over? Huh. What is this about?
Well, so this is Dusky Bridge, correct?
It also kind of looks like it looks good from the perspective, like the silhouette of the girl is solid. The rest of it looks like you drew it with color pencil, Larry. I'm sorry.
Quite a large bridge, isn't it? Your response, Miss Von Karma.
Yes, well, it's a better drawing than I expected. Isn't it? Isn't it? I struggled to reproduce those flames. I really did.
Yes, I'm sure you did.
We're ignoring that, huh? What is that, Larry?
This is going to get ugly. No one has the courage to bring it up, it seems. This mysterious flying object. Larry.
What?
The burning bridge is fine, but what is that unfortunate-looking figure?
Ah, you spotted that. I thought you might.
However, much I might want to ignore it, I can't.
It's huh? What are you talking about, Larry? What? Wait, okay. If she took the snowmobile... okay, so she set the bridge on fire then. And that would check out if she... Okay. Let me piece this together. There's so many moving parts here. I'm sorry. I have to stop for a second. Okay. She could still not be lying. No Cyclops. She could still not be lying about being in the room until the murder. Yes. And then, as soon as the murder happened, she could have left, taken the snowmobile, and went to the bridge, and she set it on fire? That's the only way I can explain this. Why the fuck would she? Why would she set the bridge on fire? And if she set it on fire for, like, a reason there, that means that she knew the murder was going to happen? Maybe? Or she witnessed the murder and knew that no one would believe her. So she went out and she set the bridge on fire. What? No, what? Huh? Huh? Okay, what? I'm so confused by this. I wish she'd take better care of herself. We have to plan for our future, you know? What would have happened to her if she had injured herself flying like that? You gotta be fucking kidding me.
Larry, please. Answer this next question honestly.
Okay. And then she went back to her room and was arrested in her room meditating.
Are you really claiming to have seen this?
It is something incredible.
Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames?
Yep. That's what I saw. That's why I drew it. I'm an artist, a real artist.
Are you high? The girl, she's really high up in the picture.
Larry would be a stoner. 100% he would.
Ooh, what was that for?
This is all a bad dream. I was hitting you on the cheek to test that theory. Once again, Franziska von Karma's wrapped up in some case that has some bullshit going on. She had to deal with dead people channeling. She had to deal with a fucking magical cape that magically went onto the fucking bust, and now she has to deal with this. I feel bad for her. Please whip your own cheek from now on if you wish to test your wild theories. Anyway, no court of law will ever acknowledge that people can fly. Actually, there is some precedent for this. Yeah, there is. She was flying pretty high, my sweet Iris. She was about 30 feet above the bridge, at least. What the what? It was really something to see. How the fuck do you explain this? What? This has to be some kind of mistake. Mr. Edgeworth, please bring the witness back down to Earth. Look, at least in Maximilian Galacticus' case, and Turnabout Big Top, we were like, okay, it's just wires. Yeah, but this? I mean, there are like suspension wires, but 30 feet in the middle of like a ravine? What? Me? This witness is your friend, is he not? God damn it. Accessory to foolishness, Miles Edgeworth. Let us get back to the cross-examination, by force if necessary. Mr. Edgeworth, I expect you to expose the obvious contradiction here. Yes, Your Honor. Looks like I've got another reason to remember this moron. Well, what did you think of my debut piece? Get that thing away from me! Horrible sketch of what he saw the night of the crime. It's not that bad. Like, it's... Like, I mean, it looks like it's drawn in crayon, but the girl herself looks pretty cool, and it kind of ties the whole thing together. I won't lie. No, hurry up and cross-examine him. Okay. I'm a Donim, I'm an artist. What do you think I was doing? Okay, hold on. 30? That doesn't look like 30 feet. But, I mean, I guess you were decently far away. But you... Hold on. I'm really stumped by this. This is difficult to me. Okay. You can see the bridge from Heavenly Hall without problem. So you didn't even run to the bridge first. You got to the bridge later, it seems like. Because that's the only way I can have the perspective make any sense. If you were that far away, for her to seem 30 feet up, you had to have been far away yourself. Because if you were right by the bridge, and also it's drawn from the side. So you didn't leave the area of Heavenly Hall, correct? Maybe? That doesn't really help me, but I'm just trying to get shit straight here because this is ridiculous. Alright, horrible sketch of what he saw. Okay. Sketching in front of the bridge. I was whipped up. It's not in front of... It's not in front of the bridge. Iris flying, her white hood fluttering. Whoa, wait a minute. Whoa, what? What? Hold on. That can't be right. We've established she didn't have her hood. Okay, that was easier than I thought it was going to be. Larry, what did you really see that night? Not that I particularly care. In your position, that's just being irresponsible. I drew exactly what I saw. I'll give you a whole $1 that it's the truth. If that is truly the case, then there is one thing that we can say for certain. What might that be? That the person who flew over the bridge could not have been the defendant, Iris. What? What do you mean? I don't understand. A foolhardy folly of a foolish statement by an equally foolish, foolhardy fool. These are getting worse. How exactly can you make this claim? Tell us, Larry. According to this picture, the individual whom you say you saw was wearing a hood, correct? Of course she was. That rundown shack is quite away from the bridge. The hood is what told me that this is my floating angel, Iris. This floating angel was my Iris. My first sentence would have worked. The hood is my darling Iris, and Iris is my darling hood. I'm so worked up right now. It seems there are bigger fools in this world than the one at the defense's bench. Thanks. Larry, there's something you need to be made aware of.
On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. So who was it? It couldn't have been Elise. She died. It couldn't have been Iris, because she didn't have her hood. Unless she had another, but she shouldn't have. She only gets one. No way it was Bikini. Because she was found with the... Somebody else is involved. Somebody else has to be involved. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now? Perhaps suggest it was Wright who took flight.
What are you talking about?
I think you understand what I mean just fine.
Why did Nick have Iris's hood?
What?
Oh, fucking... Edgy, what's going on with Iris and Nick? God, Larry. Why, Nick, you dog! You dog! That's probably how I should have delivered that.
I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited and discarded, straight into the garbage.
What is it now, witness? It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Edgy, today is the day I get to completely stupefy you.
What? What is the meaning of your outburst, witness?
Yeah, what is this, Larry? I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence.
Definitive
evidence? Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge, and I, Larice Doneem, shall prove it. Okay, that's big talk.
I didn't expect to ask this again, but we shall be needing your testimony once again. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as depicted in this sketch, and show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality.
Okay, I hope you're ready, Edgy, because I'm going to feed you a whopping serving of pain.
You've been serving us a whopping serving of pain this whole time. Trust me.
Proof that Iris flew. Okay, go for it. When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led to me finding a beautiful crystal sphere half buried in the snow. Huh. And it has blood. And I bet if we tested the blood, it would be Elise's. Oh. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. Oh, okay. Okay, we're not that far yet. All right. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. Okay, never mind. I know exactly where to press. I know it.
A crystal sphere?
This one. Pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers. I'm glad I already noticed that the hoods have a purple sphere on them, because now I know what he's talking about. I know where we're going. That sphere, where did you find it? Let me see. Around here somewhere? Looks about right. There.
And it was half buried in the snow.
It had pretty much stopped snowing by then. Okay, so if it didn't get thrown off the bridge, and if it was stolen, then it must have been pretty important. But there was still some falling as I walked to the bridge.
The corpse accepts this crystal sphere.
That's mine, okay? I want it back afterward. Probably not.
There's something on it. Oh my, it's blood. What? Blood?
Okay. I think we know whose. You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's going to push me around anymore.
Didn't you want to be called Larice Doneem only a few minutes ago?
Okay, well, we got this. Alright, when I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led me to finding a beautiful crystal sphere half buried in the snow. I'm sure that Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night. That's false, because we can prove that, God, there's three things I could present here, and I'm sure I'm going to get penalized. The staff, which seems kind of shaky because we don't know for sure that there is a crystal's orb on it. We have the picture of Elise, who has the orb, which is obviously where the orb came from. But then we also have just her profile. I'm gonna guess the picture. Probably. Okay, nice.
Larry. That night, there was someone who lost a crystal sphere.
There was? Who? Who is this stupid idiot?
Miss Elise Donim, the mentor to a stupid idiot.
The victim?
I have a photo of her here. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal sphere.
Oh god, okay, fuck. I pieced something together now. The reason Iris probably used the snowmobile, the most likely reason now, is that she's the one who hid that damn sphere. I don't know what's going on with the flying, but that makes sense. Why would she need it? What is her deal? What's happening? Hey, that's my photograph. Give it back. Ouch! A crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch.
They look nothing alike. In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff found at the crime scene.
Ah, the crystal sphere.
It's gone.
What? What?
Just what does this mean? If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris. After all, she was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal spheres found at the landing site was not hers either.
Whoa.
That means the one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim, Miss Elise Donim.
Huh? 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 What do you mean? That doesn't make any sense. A fool alongside another fool, on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, this sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly, thus it is rejected. You can't do that, I saw it with my own two eyes! And this crystal sphere, this is nothing more than a red herring.
You honestly believe that?
Give it some thought, and I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. Elise Donim was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, this sphere cannot be related to this case. That is all.
Miss Francisca von Karma.
I like how he's constantly using her full name, like out of pettiness.
The only people who will accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns.
Why are you pointing at me?
The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge on the night of her murder. You expect us to believe this has nothing to do with the case?
That crystal sphere. It was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder. Why?
After the murder?
There is blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent. Which is the exact same reason that he drew that ridiculous sketch. What? You mean I'm the killer? No, what? All joking aside, just when did this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case.
She makes a valid point. There is no evidence that Elise Donim left Hazakura Temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed.
Okay.
Then this case is going to transform into something else entirely. Your response, Mr. Edgeworth. I want your final opinion on this disposition of this crystal sphere. If it is not related to the case, then this witness who you call will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time.
Okay. Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth.
Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place? I don't know. Before? Can we test the blood? What, and the blood on it kind of proves that it's not. It was after the murder, though. Oh, God. How is she flying over the... I'm so stumped. I've never been, like, this hard-walled as I am right now. This is confusing. Okay. Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place? Okay. So if Elise Donim was flying, and she had a hood somehow, she was called Mystic before, actually. So if she was flying, and she dropped the sphere, how would she have been the one flying if she was murdered 15 goddamn minutes later? What? I am so confused. I'm so stumped. Okay, back up. Stop trying to take this whole thing in. Okay. I knew I would fuck up this episode after how smooth the last one went. Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place? God damn it, I wish that the... I wish that the crystal sphere, or the staff was here. This is hard. Okay. Let's check the evidence. Staff. Has her fingerprints on it. Okay. There's nothing in this about the staff that, other than the fact that it once had this sphere, that would actually indicate anything. Shichishido. We can't go the route of, like, there's blood on it, so the weapon had to have been withdrawn. If we're talking about, like, the plugging the blood thing, because that's this doesn't make any fucking sense to me. Misty Faye, still don't know why that's there. Iris's hood, not important. Note to Iris, not important. Hazakura temple map. Okay. Weather data. Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place? The weather data has a lot of time. Oh, wait a minute. Where was there snow on it? Found half covered in snow. From the bottom or from the top? It must mean from the top. Okay, hold on. So the murder took place around 11. Okay. Okay, there it is. I got it. Okay. The murder took place close to 11. The snow stopped falling at 10:50. If it was dropped after the murder, that was hard. That's difficult. Wow, I like that. I like that puzzle a lot. Okay.
Okay, it couldn't have been covered in snow if it was dropped after the murder. Excellent, excellent. Whew. Damn, that that was a thinker. Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. To simply prove it. That's the only option. Now you're thinking like Phoenix. That's what he'd do. Yes, exactly. Same wavelength. Let's go. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something to you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case. You will do what? That look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered. That should come as no surprise. And that means you know what's coming next. Because right now, I am Phoenix Wright, and I am indeed cornered. I ordered you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Evidence that proves that the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder. I thought for a second there it was going to... I thought for a second it was gonna fucking make me point out something on the image and I was gonna have to restart from scratch. Okay, the weather report. Your response, Miss Von Karma. Birds of a feather flock together. Are you familiar with this phrase? Miles Edgeworth, I think one such bird is calling for its fellow now. Go, go, Edgy, do it, prove it, win, win, win. His cheering. It's as though I'm listening to the ominous cause of ravens. What do you mean? What? What? Did I think about everything wrong? What? I'm so confused. Okay, is this just a scenario where I just presented the wrong thing even though it makes perfect fucking sense to present it unless I'm dumb and thinking about this all wrong? Because for it to have been half covered in snow, it had to have been there before the murder. Because if it happened after the murder, which is about when snow stopped, and it was thrown away there, it would not have snow on it. That checks out, right? Am I stupid? Crystal sphere. Is it just this? Really? Come on. The weather report makes sense, though. Damn it, I hate it when this happens. I hate it when I feel justified in what I wrongly presented and I was still correct. That's the worst feeling about these games sometimes, but not a big deal. We can move on. This crystal sphere, it was half buried in the snow, correct? That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. The snow would have totally covered it. That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear. What? When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even if it was ever so slightly. Snowing? On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body. Ah! Therefore, the crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder. Okay, so the game just kind of assumed that I would make the connection between the body and the sphere, and not necessarily the time of when it stopped snowing, but okay. I see what they wanted. I think it's a little flawed. Order, order, order! On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge. And there, something occurred that caused the staff's crystal sphere to come loose. What? What could that have been? This sphere. There's some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction, okay? The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. I didn't consider that possibility, actually. The murder didn't take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard? Only a fool suggests such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness. Just who is the fool? Which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma? Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in Hazakura Temple courtyard. So then, did Iris Why on earth did Iris stab her dead body with the Shichishido? For what reason?
That's not exactly true now, is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body.
That's the same thing!
No, it isn't. You said it yourself.
Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of a blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from a body, that would be when the blade is removed.
If that statement is the truth, then Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding.
So she walked all the way back. Really? That's crazy. You're forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. Elise O'Neem's body was found in Hazakura Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all that way? I guess that's possible.
I've made it this far. The only place is to take this to the end. I just need to prove that my version of the events is also perfectly plausible. Now, if the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. Please show us the method by which the victim's body was carried to Hazakura Temple.
We don't have the snowmobile as evidence. I guess we have the crime photo. Oh, shit! Oh, not the crime photo, the wrong thing, the tracks photo. That's the footprints. Aha! Aha! Ha! I see. Okay. She walked.
On that snowy night, there is one way that a body could have been moved. The snowmobile.
Ah!
As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. Okay, I'm dumb. Never mind. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon, but it could also have been used to carry a body.
I really thought she walked all the fucking way with a sword in her chest or abdomen or wherever it was. This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth. You dug yourself into your own grave.
What do you mean?
The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moved the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin?
You're too late, Franziska von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation.
What?
Where was the victim, Elise O'Neem, really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean?
Do you even need to think about that? Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it.
This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity, goddamn. However, he would never utter a lie that could hurt a girl with whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened.
Really?
The defense stands firm on this point.
Edgy. Thank you.
That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances.
She's still so angry.
Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It is just as I thought. Franziska von Karma, you make a wonderful partner.
Excuse me?
There was one reason, and one alone, for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case, and then pass it on to Wright.
Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me that from the very beginning. Then I wouldn't have had Franzi whipping me all day. Ouch! Miles Edgeworth, I don't care about what you were here to do. That was this was my chance to finally grind you under my heel.
A shame that your chance seems to have slipped you by.
What a shame, Franzi! This is all your fault. This is all your fault. Nice voice switch. Such a terrible witness. You are an affront to all legal systems stand for. I demand satisfaction. He deserves it. He does. I cannot believe that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the questions it raises. Have his words here today been the truth or lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I am counting on thorough investigation by both the defense and the prosecution. And with this, the rest is up to you, Wright. Oh no, are we done? Court is now adjourned. Oh man, that was awesome. I really like that puzzle where I had to think about the snow. I wish my answer was correct, but that was difficult. This really feels like a final case now. I really thought that Bikini's stuff felt a bit too easy and too like forward, but that was impressive. I really liked that puzzle there. Francisca and Edgeworth, great. I'm happy that I got to see them interact and I got to play as Edgeworth. It sounds like we're going to go back to Phoenix now, which probably means actually that Godot would probably want to come back to the trial, right? So that would be cool if we had one case with these two and then one case with Phoenix and Godot. Or one trial, I mean, not case. Oh, man. What the fuck is up with this flying girl? I can't figure that out. That makes no sense. All right. Well, anyway, thank you all for watching this episode of Let's Play Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Trials and Tribulations Blind, or I guess the final episode of Miles Edgeworth Ace Attorney. I've been Guildmaster Wiggly. If you enjoyed the video, please consider giving it a like. If you are new, consider subscribing. If you want to follow my socials or join my Discord, they're in the description. And I hope to see you all next time when we head into the second investigation period.